What's up, peeps? Nick Battle, aka NinosCorner, man. First off, if you like this content that's coming your way, hit the subscribe button. It means a ton. Help me grow this channel, folks. I'm on the road to 4,000 subscribers, almost there. Second of all, folks, if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Play, like, comment, subscribe, and share means a ton. But today, folks, we're going to do a quick reaction video to Sark's press conference, Texas at Texas Tech. Texas lost by 3 points to Texas Tech at Lubbock this weekend. But prior to us getting that, folks, let's get into our sponsors. So, folks, our first sponsor is BetUS.com. Go to BetUS.com, get 125% sign-up bonus using the code NinosCorner at BetUS.com. Again, 125% sign-up bonus using the promo code NinosCorner at BetUS.com. Also, folks, support for the Ninos Corner podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in below the waist men's grooming champions of the world. Go to manscaped.com, folks. Get 20% off and free worldwide shipping using the code NinosCorner at manscaped.com. Again, 20% off and free worldwide shipping using the code NinosCorner at manscaped.com. But, folks, right now, I'm going to just dive straight into it, folks. We're going to go into a quick reaction video. I'm going to go frame by frame with Coach Sarkisian. The video just came up last night, so we'll do that right now and just see exactly what was said and what I think he means during this press conference, folks. So let's go ahead and share the screen, and let's go ahead and let's get it.
I think, first of all, give Texas Tech a lot of credit. They played a heck of a football game. Coach McGuire had his team ready to play.
Let's pause that. Texas Tech, yes, they were ready to play. And if I know everybody's seen my post, seen other people's posts, Joe McGuire's in the locker room and says, I told you they were going to break, and they did. No, that's what happened. Yeah, he had his guys ready to play. He had his guys knowing that when his team had their backs on the wall, they were going to fold. And that's kind of what we did. And you know what? I'm not going to put it on the team. This is on the coaching staff. It's on the coaching staff. We're all gassed on breaks. We're up 31-17, up 14 points. Don't take your foot off the gas. Put your foot on their throat. Continue to press and win the game. So, yes, props to Joey McGuire for knowing that this coaching staff is going to ease up. And once they ease up and he got back into the game, that this coaching staff was going to fail. This coaching staff was going to fold, not the players. I'm tired of putting on the players. Yes, the players got to play, but the coaching staff has to put these guys in a position to win the game. And they didn't do that. They did not do that this game.
They took care of the ball. They didn't turn it over. I thought they played aggressively. They went for it 8 times on 4th down, converted 6 of them to extend drives. So give them a lot of credit. I think for us,
let's go ahead and say it again. 8 4th downs, 6 conversions. They played aggressive. They didn't play to not lose the game. They played to win the game. That's something Texas did not do in this game.
We didn't play good enough to win today. Too inconsistent offensively. It was very big little. We struggled to protect the quarterback and to win on 1st down in the second half. We had some missed opportunities in the passing game where we didn't make catches that we're accustomed to making. And then ultimately we turned the ball over twice, which we hadn't done here in the last couple weeks. I think defensively, our inability to get off the field was a real factor. And like I said, they went for it 8 times on 4th down, got 6 of them. And of those 6, a few of those were close to, we couldn't get the quarterback on the ground to get them off the field, which was disappointing. And then we couldn't create a turnover. We had some opportunities. The ball got loose. But we didn't create any turnovers. So at the end of the day, when you play 100 plays on defense and you only run 60 on offense, that's not a great formula for success in any league. And so, like I said, all the credit in the world to Tech. They did a heck of a job. I'm disappointed on our end because we didn't play a brand of football that I think we've grown accustomed to. But I think things add up in football. Right, some of the errors and things.
Let me stop that. A brand of football that Texas is accustomed to. We played really good against Alabama, and against UTSA, our defense was not good. We did not rush the passer well against UTSA. No sacks. We bullied. We got bullied against Texas Tech, and against UTSA, they have no sacks. To not be able to put the pressure on the quarterback as need be with a team that was on their 3rd string offensive lineman. It's not a good recipe. I knew something was going to be up in this game just due to that UTSA game.
Things that occurred early in the game that we didn't take advantage of reared their ugly head late because the game became what the game was. We got a fourth down stop in the third quarter and got great field position and came away with no points. And that's disappointing because we had a chance to really stretch the game out, open the game up, and we didn't. And in the end, they hung around and gave themselves a chance, and we ended up losing. So we've got to get ourselves back to focus on what we need to do as individuals so that we can get it right collectively, so that we can come out and play a really good ball game next Saturday against West Virginia. The beauty of it, it's first week of Big 12 play. So there's a lot of football left in our conference. There's a lot of better days ahead for us, but we've got to make sure that we do the things necessary to put ourselves in better position to come out victorious, and we didn't do that today.
Completely on the coaching staff. Completely on the coaching staff. You got to get these guys ready. You got to have better game plans. Opening script has been amazing ever since Sark's been here. Where are the adjustments? Where are the adjustments? The second half, whatever script we had in the second half, whatever feel for the game in the second half just was not there after we went up 31-17. Went up 31-17, and it was crazy. It was just crazy. We want to get 3 more points after that. We let Texas Tech come back, and we're up 31-17. We get one small score, field goal or something, anything. We put them away. This coaching staff does not realize how hated Texas is across the country, across the globe. And I think that's what, when you have folks who are not from the state of Texas and don't understand that, every game that Texas plays is the other team's Super Bowl. Regardless, they hate this fan base. They hate this school. We're every team's Super Bowl. We have to play with that intensity to understand that, look, when we get people down, this isn't the Texas of 2005 and 2009, like 08, 09. We got to continue to press, because back in the day, if you're down 2 touchdowns against Texas, people just rolled over because they understood the game was over. Almost like what Alabama's doing now. You go down 2 scores, 3 scores to Alabama, game's over. Teams quit. That's how it used to be at Texas. Here, you go up 2 touchdowns, your ass got to continue to play because nobody respects it right now. You got to get the respect. You got to gain that respect from people.
Well, I've come to find out, I never think I have the game won. This sport of college football is wild, and we see it every weekend with them.
If you don't think you have the game won, why do we play so conservative and have such conservative play calling? I don't get it. I don't get it. Xavier Worthy was not in the game. Where's the speed going to come from? We got a guy like Brennan Thompson who traveled with the team. He was second on the depth chart. We didn't see him at all. Even if he's not going to, run a great route, even if he's not going to catch a ball, put him out there. Let him draw the deep. Just put him deep. Put him deep. Just tell him, fly. Go deep. Get those safeties up off you, man. Why do we have speed in this team that we are not utilizing? Especially when Xavier Worthy went out in the game. We got players on this team. Texas Tech would gladly trade rosters for Texas right now. I'm tired of seeing Texas get beat by teams less talented, and coaches know that they would gladly trade rosters, and then they would really come whoop your ass.
All different ups and downs in games, even today when it looked like we lost, You get the ball with how many ever seconds left, and we put ourselves in position. A heck of a kick by Bert Auburn to give us a chance to go to overtime. It's frustrating because I know we're better than the way we played today, and for whatever reason, that's my job to go figure out why we didn't play better football today. Because I think we had an opportunity today to really take hold of the ball game, and we didn't do it. And that's a killer instinct that I know we've been working on, that we've got to continue to strive to get right to be able to put people away. We had an opportunity today. We didn't do it. And to credit to Tech, they kept fighting, and they gave themselves a chance and ultimately won the ball game.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, the wind was blowing pretty good from that direction. I just didn't feel comfortable with him at that length. And I felt good about what we were doing. I didn't think we would get beat and give up penetration on 4th and 2 the way we did. So I got to call a better play, obviously, in that situation. But the idea to go.
See, he's talking about the Wildcat. Stop it with the Wildcat. It worked against Kansas State last year because it was the unknown. Everybody knows the Wildcat now. We can't continue to run the ball. If you're going to run the Wildcat, Just run it. Don't fake a handoff. Just run it or pass out of it. You have a guy in Rojo who was a prior quarterback in high school, a highly touted quarterback in high school. You have Hudson Card, who was an outstanding wide receiver. I think an all-district wide receiver in high school as well, who's now the starting quarterback at Texas because Quinn's hurt. Get creative with that package. Everybody knows what's coming, so it's not a surprise anymore. It did really well against KSU last year because it was the unknown. Now there's tape on it. People know it. Creativity. We're offensive genius here at the OC, at the head coaching position here in Steve Sarkisian. Creativity.
Well, extremely frustrating. On both those plays, we jump off sides on both 3rd and forever plays. And that's a lack of mental intensity. That's a lack of focus. I mean, we're jumping off sides on 3rd and whatever it was, 23, and 3rd and I don't know how much the other one was, 18 or whatever it is. And on both of them, we jump, so they go ahead and take a shot and throw it down the field. And the first one, we get a DPI, and on the second one, they catch it. So it all starts with our inability to just have the discipline and the mental intensity to stay on side.
I'm glad he said it. Discipline. Exactly. I said that's discipline. That you can't let your defensive line do that twice in a game on long 3rd downs, 3rd and 26, 3rd and 18. You cannot let that happen. That's discipline. That's mental toughness. That is what Joey McGuire said. I told you they were going to break, and they did. Those are the points in the game where you break because your mental focus isn't there, and you are not good enough as the staff and not good enough as a team to win in spite of.
So it starts there, and then our not panicking on a deep ball where we have PI and not have the inability to knock the ball down. That's disappointing. So we've got work to do. No. I don't think we got complacent. We didn't.
Sark might not think we got complacent. I think everybody watching the game saw that the offense got very complacent. Yeah, he got complacent. Is what it is. And yes, the defense was gassed. 100 plays to 60 plays, they were gassed. So yes, but the offense did get complacent. It was a very conservative game plan. I don't care what he says. This game plan is different. He calls a different game plan when Quinn is in the game than when Hudson's in the game. And we don't know if he just doesn't trust Hudson as much as he trusts Quinn, or is it the same game plan, but Hudson's not seeing the game like Quinn is. But however it is, it's a different game plan when Hudson's in the game. And I think anybody that can look at football, understands that.
In this league, these games are never over, right? We got to keep playing. And I don't think for that we got complacent. We couldn't get off the field. And over time, 100 plays is 100 plays in 90 whatever degree weather. You're going to get fatigued, So I'd be lying if I told you I don't think we didn't get tired.
That's true. Defense has only so many snaps in them. That's true.
95-degree weather. Yeah, we got tired. Yeah, Morrow didn't make the trip. He suffered an ankle injury last week that he just didn't feel great about through Thursday's practice. And again, you go on these road trips, you can only bring 70. It's hard because of our quarterback situation. We kind of had to bring 4 quarterbacks, which is not ideal. So we need him back. I felt like we could have used him there, especially late in that ball game. Worthy X-rays were negative. It's a lower leg injury. Hopefully we get him back sooner rather than later. I think so. Again, there was the 2 that stand out were the 2 third longs where we get the DPI. I think it was Gilbo on their sideline. Felt like he was in good position. I'm not sure what happened on that. Then the ball on our side, I think we have 2 defenders there, and the kid goes up and makes a play on the ball, and we kind of pride ourselves on making those plays, and we didn't pull a couple of those down that I thought we had a shot to offensively. So, like I said, we just didn't play good enough. I got to go look at the fundamentals and the techniques and things of that nature, looking at the tape, but at the end of the day, 50-50 balls, if somebody's going to catch them or somebody's going to get PI, when it's not us, that starts to have an effect ultimately on the outcome of the ball game.
One thing I want to kind of chime on what he said there, so he said, who was it? Gilbo actually made a mistake there on a 50-50 ball. These are freshmen. And that's one thing that we got to understand. We got a lot of freshmen playing. And I'm not giving the cop out or anything to the coaching staff at all. But Joe Paterno said a long time ago. He said a long time ago, the more freshmen you have, for every freshman that you have playing meaningful moments, kind of factor that in for a loss, for the season. So you got 5 freshmen starting. He's probably gonna have 5 losses that year, because they're just gonna make freshman mistakes. As good as Xavier Worthy was last year, we had one mistake last year. In the Oklahoma game, coming out of the end zone for no reason. That should have been a catch the ball, down it. You live for the ball to be at 25-yard line, but that's a freshman mistake. But he came back and scored a touchdown on the next drive, but that's a freshman mistake. Having Gilbert out there not being able to track the ball, that's a freshman mistake. The offensive line, there's a couple plays. Cole Hudson wasn't the best on some plays. Those were freshman mistakes. Those are things we have to live with, but those are things that I don't think this coaching staff is ready to live with. I know this fan base isn't ready to live with, because they've gone through 12 years of this already. We have to be in a position to stop having to depend on freshmen to save this program and to do great things in this program immediately. We struck gold with Kelvin Banks Jr. We struck gold with him. We struck gold with X last year. We shouldn't be having to strike gold every year with freshmen to continue to win, or not even say continue, to begin the initial phases of a winning program, consistently winning program.
I didn't think we played great up front. I thought we did some things well. Clearly there in the third quarter, we just given up way too much penetration in the run game and in the pass game.
I'm glad he admitted it. We missed Junior Angelau. Junior Angelau is severely missed as an interior offensive lineman, whether he was going to play center or guard. But if he was going to play guard and we still kept Jake Majors at the center position, that would kick Cole Hudson to be a backup and let him mature in the game and do great things in the next season going forward. Kelvin Banks Jr. is a stud. I think we all understand that. He's the best tackle on this team. But per the PFF numbers, if I'm not mistaken, they did exceptionally well pass blocking. But the run blocking, as has been all season, has not been up to standard. And I think this is what Sark's talking about here is we allowed too much pressure up the gut today. And our running backs could not get going. If we did not have running backs named Bijan Robinson and Roshan Johnson, Bijan does not go for 13 yards on a Saturday, because he had so much pressure on him. As soon as he got the ball, he was having to juke, jive, and duck just to get yardage. So yeah, if we didn't have if our starting running back wasn't named Bijan Robinson, we would probably be in the negative range when it comes to total yardage for rushing for this team.
So things to clean up on that end for sure. I don't think it was the being on the road. I thought like our guys handled the crowd noise and all that. I felt like we weren't fidgety at the line of scrimmage, and we had one formational issue late in the game on the 3rd and 3 where we had to use the timeout. But in the end, I didn't think from a composure standpoint we weren't out of whack. We didn't play great. We didn't block them very well.
I feel like you got greedy on the deep balls instead of curls.
I liked the opportunities that we had. We had Jay Witt on a ball 1-on-1. He has it. He hits the ground and it comes out. Unfortunately, he couldn't finish the play. And then we had a 1-on-1 play on the 3rd down play with Tariq Milton, just over his head. Hindsight's 2020. I didn't feel great about our pass protection at that time. It was leaky, so I wanted to make sure I was giving Hudson something where he could get the ball up. I really didn't feel comfortable about him scrambling around in our own end zone, and I felt like those were 2 good calls. Obviously, they weren't good enough. We didn't make the plays.
Well, folks, that was the instant reaction video to Coach Sarkisian for Texas at Texas Tech. Look, I think this coaching staff has to understand Texas is a hated program, folks. They are a hated program. I'm not saying that Bama wasn't a hated program, because that's where most of these guys came from. But it's different. It's different out here. Texas is a hated program. You got to understand, you are everybody's Super Bowl. But the coaching staff, let's be honest, and I said this plenty of times in my previous podcast, Steve Sarkisian, who's a veteran coach, coached plenty of college games, head coach at Washington, USC, offensive coordinator at Alabama, USC as well, Atlanta Falcons. He got out coached by Joey McGuire. He got out coached. Joey was more aggressive. He willed his team to win. He initially told him that we're going to break and we're going to break those guys. They're going to break. And I told you that they were going to break. He predicted it. And he got out coached today by a guy who was coaching high school ball just a few years ago. So let that sink in for a minute. We got to get better. We got to get better as a coaching staff. You know, I'm not going to put it all on these players anymore. It's not all on the players. Sometimes you have to be put in a position to make the best plays and win games. And I feel like we got so conservative at the end. We got so conservative. And I don't know if that's because Card not being able to make the throws that Quinn can make, or no, it was the play calling. It's a different game plan when Card's out there than when Quinn's out there. It just is. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we got to put Card in the best position to succeed. And Card had a good game. I'm not taking nothing away from Card. Had a good game. But we got to be able to put our guys in better positions to win this game. And we were not able to do that. But folks, let me know in the comments what you think about the Texas at Texas Tech game here this year, just on this past Saturday on the 25th. And yeah, it is what it is. But on that note, folks, man, do you, like I tell you all the time, don't be afraid to fill out, grow your environment, understand your brilliance. And on that note, Ninos Corner, I'm out. And even though it's a loss, guess what, folks? Horns always up. Hook 'em.